Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. If you could please subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. We are in the midst of a big eclipse season, and there are currently 6 planets retrograde. Mercury being the personal planet, which is retrograde, and it initially retrograded in the cardinal air sign of Libra, which is very relationship oriented. And I have heard of a lot of disagreements in partnerships, but also people hearing from relationships from the past, whether it's old co-workers or old flames or friends from the past. That's very much relationship oriented. And Mercury will re-enter the sign of Virgo on September 23rd, and Mercury rules the sign of Virgo. It also rules the sign of Gemini, and Mars is currently transiting in Gemini. It's, sailing ahead, well, not very quickly, it's moving very slowly, but while in Gemini it can feel very rapid because it goes in many different directions. And Mars will retrograde on October 30th at 25 degrees of Gemini. So Mercury rules the sign of Gemini where Mars is transiting. It will return to the sign of Virgo later this week. It will station direct on October 2nd at 24 degrees and 12 minutes of the sign of Virgo, opposing Neptune, which is dreams, illusions, delusions, and imagination. And in this sense, it's about dispelling things that are not clear or not real for you so that you can pursue the dream. The Sun opposed Neptune this past weekend, bringing things more to light and clarity. And when Mars retrogrades at the end of October, it's going to retrograde squaring Neptune. It already is squaring Neptune. And we're all preparing for the new, the age of Pisces. I don't know what I'm going to dub it yet, but the age of Pisces. And so Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. Jupiter is the ancient ruler. So very strong Piscean energy in the midst of this, or Neptunian energy, you could say. And remember, earlier this year, Jupiter and Neptune both met up while in Pisces at 23 degrees of the mutable water sign of Pisces, expanding through the dream. And we prepare for Saturn entering Pisces on March 7th of next year. So figuring out what things are dissolving in your life and what is not a real path, but also reconnecting to the dream in a real sense, in a way that you can work towards it. And I think that is important during this time. And we also are preparing for the equinox this week. So today as I speak, Venus is currently transiting in its fall position. It's in Virgo. We have a few more days of Virgo season, which is ruled by the planet Mercury. And so Venus does not like being in the sign of Virgo. It's in its fall position. And but it is making a beautiful trine to Uranus, and that is the planet of innovation and ingenuity, and that can bring unexpected creative opportunities, financial or relationship opportunities. So that's a really dynamic energy and very exciting, and that is at play today. And tomorrow that energy will loom a bit. And then let's see, we're going to have the equinox, and that's one of 2 times of the year when the sun crosses the celestial equator, and it's approximately equal day and equal night. And in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the beginning of the fall season. And in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the beginning of the spring season. And this is when the sun gets to 0 degrees, in this case of the cardinal air sign of Libra. And when the sun gets to 0 degrees of the cardinal signs, it initiates a season. All cardinal signs initiate a season at the very first degree. And it's a time of ushering in change and what you want to really, what you want to focus on with that energy. And Mercury retrograded initially in the sign of Libra. and it will station direct in Virgo rather. But with this now, figuring out how you can partner. And the equinox chart has Taurus ascendant at 17 degrees of Taurus, so it's within a degree of Uranus, which is the planet of brilliance and chaos, kind of like the Tower card. And Venus rules the chart as well as the sun in Libra. And with the Taurus ascendant, I think that's also emphasizing for all of us finding value and really even trying to find comfort within chaos, because Taurus is a sign that loves its comfort and loves beauty and good food and just, you know, just things, good music, things to be very harmonious and, you know, enjoy their possessions and their comfort. And so with this energy, Taurus is a very staid sign that does not like a lot of change and moves slowly, but with intent. And Uranus is fast, rapid change. It's chaos. It's finding comfort in the lack of taking risks and in things being unpredictable and going on the fly, being on the fly in a sense. And so this is energy where we all have to get out of our comfort zone with the North Node of Karma, finding value in beauty in a world of immense change and lack of consistency in a way, but also the fact that you can really learn new things that you never believed were possible, and there is infinite possibility. And realizing with Uranus there's a lot of freedom. It reminds me of the Fool card too. It reminds me of both the tarot, of the Tower card and of the Fool card, because the Fool is having a sense of anticipation and many different paths and routes that you've not pursued yet. And so Uranus has that energy too, where you could be in the right place at the right time. You could conceivably be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But with this equinox chart, and I cast it for Washington, D.C., it's about finding moments of ingenuity in little things in Taurus, but also breaking free from things that you thought were security and taking the risk to do so, because this is a time really that your biggest resource is learning in many different regards. In the new age of Aquarius, with Mars being in Gemini for such a long time until the end of March, that's really taking action to learn, to get involved in your local environment, to network with many different people, but again, really to learn, to communicate, and to get involved through your intellect and through what you can contribute in that way. And I think that is important. And in the equinox chart, I think that you know, it's just about really about partnerships too, very much, you know, with this retrograde energy beforehand. And then there, let's see, on the following day, Mercury is going to, so the equinox is going to occur at 9:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's when the sun enters the Cardinal air sign of Libra. And then on the following day, on September 23rd, Mercury, which is currently retrograde, will re-enter the mutable earth sign of Virgo at 8:04 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It will station direct on October 2nd, so it's not going to be retrograde much longer, and it will oppose Neptune. So there is a fog that gets lifted, but it also can make things seem very confusing as you reflect on how you want to move ahead in this significant fall retrograde season. And so that's happening. And then on September 24th, Venus will oppose Neptune at 4:51 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and now that's following the sun opposing Neptune. And in this case, again, it's about keeping you from illusions around love or happiness or even financial situations, but also about, you know, finding how you can be empathetic to others and to yourself in this time, in a really difficult time. And then there is a new moon that takes place on September 25th at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, at 2 degrees and 49 minutes of the sign of Libra. So the sun is ruled by Venus in this case. The new moon chart I cast for Washington, D.C., it has Pisces ascendant at 7 degrees of the mutable water sign of Pisces. Neptune rules the chart. That is the dream, again focusing on the dream. Jupiter is the ancient ruler, expanding through your imagination. And in this new moon chart, Venus is conjunct Mercury, and so it's again about, and they fall in the house of relationships and partnerships. Venus is in its fall position in Virgo and ruling this new moon in Libra, yet it's about learning and networking with others, very much focused on partnerships. Venus makes a very good aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation and empowerment, up-leveling what you perceive to be the lack or what you're trying to improve. And it also makes a wide trine to Uranus, the planet of ingenuity and invention. And so, and Uranus is conjunct the North Node in the house of income and what you value, and finding new ways to build resources and to build your self-esteem in this time. And Venus and Mercury also oppose Neptune. So there is that energy, again, of things seeming difficult to make tangible, but that, you know, really trying to do the manifesting part of it, because your imagination is a big resource in this time of reflection as well, and also in the sense of giving your heart to others and compassion in this challenging time. So the new moon is always a time for planting new seeds. Again, it's a very active Venus. It's conjunct Mercury, which rules Venus in Virgo. It's in the sign ruled by Mercury. A lot of communication and analysis of finding what you value. The new moon is in the house of relationships, so planting new seeds on that area, or find where Libra is in your specific chart, and that is where you're experiencing new beginnings. Plant new seeds, write down your intentions, and do the law of abundance to bring in manifesting energy. I will do an article. I will write an article, so you can sign up on my website, or I will put a link to sign up below to receive the newsletter. But definitely use this energy to focus on what you love. Venus is really the only personal planet right now that's not in retrograde energy, and it will enter the sign of Libra on September 29th, which is the sign it rules, and it loves being in Libra. Very partnership oriented. So there is a lot about working with the illusion, in that figuring out what is tangible, again, what is constructive for you, but not dismissing the dream, because even if it feels directionless right now, dreams are what get you through. So I wish you a lot of luck, and thank you very much.